All right, I want to welcome everyone to this pop-up business training webinar. I got up this morning, had a few phone calls, and kind of decided, you know what, I think it's time to do another business training. Because I think the reality is, as fast as Advocare is growing and as big as the company is getting, everyone kind of has their own spin on how to work the business. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in technology and trying all these new things. And the reality is, you don't need all that stuff. You don't have to be, technologically savvy to build your Advocare business. You do not need to know how to run webinars like this. All you need is your phone. If you know how to work your cell phone, you can build a business. It's nice to be able to get online and check your reports too, but the reality is this business was around well before anyone was checking their reports on Advocare.com. Advocare.com wasn't even around. So you can do this with very little tools. Okay, all you need is your story and effort. And that's really what it comes down to. So tonight, that's what I want to do. I want to kind of take it down to the basics. Just having something like the Impact Magazine and your tool of arsenals that you can use to share the story and to share the power of Advocare can take you to the next level in your business. Okay, so that's what we're going to go over tonight. Hopefully this won't take too long, but I do want you to know there is the chat box to the right of the screen. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to go ahead and ask those questions in there. I was talking to Lamont this morning as well, and he's asking, how quickly can you start earning significant income in Advocare? And that is a hard question, and he even knew it. He goes, look, this question I'm sure has multiple answers. But yeah, I mean, the reality is this business is, you're the only variable in this business. So while we all have the same $79 distributor kit, we all have the same tools, we all have the same website, the same products, the same compensation plan, and we know that it all works. We know the products work. We know the compensation plan works. So when it comes down to it, you're the only variable. How quickly are you willing to go out there and talk to people? How good are you going to be at following up with those who are in product and following up for those who want the opportunity and want to earn some extra income? How willing are you to get on a three-way call with your sponsor? All of those things come into play. Everything else is done for you. Again, the products work, the business opportunity works. That's done. Quit worrying about that stuff. What you need to focus on is you. And that's what I want to go over tonight, because the faster you can really focus on these fundamentals and start putting these fundamentals into action, the faster you're going to get paid, and the faster you get paid, the more that's going to multiply. When I first started Advocare, my vision was $500 to $1,000 a month. I thought if I could make $500 to $1,000 a month, I was set. I was good. That's all I needed to not have to work from 5 a.m. to 8 or 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. I worked, I think, usually 10 to 5 on Saturdays and Sundays. Hopefully, I didn't have to do any work. But just that extra $500 to $1,000 a month meant I didn't have to train as many clients, and that meant I could have more time for myself and be able to do the things that I wanted in life. I never thought it would take me to where I am today, or earning the income that I'm earning. But so this training, whether you're looking for an extra $500 a month or you're looking for an extra $10,000 a month, what I'm going over is the same thing that you're going to do at a small scale or at an even bigger scale. So with that, let's go ahead and get into it. And this document that I'm about to share with you is from Tanya Parr. They are distributors in, I want to say, Wisconsin. I think they're Platinum. But they put together this document. It's not something I did. And that's one of the other things. If something's out there that works, don't try and recreate it. There's no reason to. I think a lot of times people want, or they think their teammates have to see them as like the leader, the one that came up with everything. And that's not true. Everything you hear me say, everything you see me share is something that I've gotten from somebody else. Okay, so that hopefully gives you some hope that you don't need to know everything. You don't need to be creative, because I'm really not that creative, to be completely honest with you. I'm not that good. So when I listen to other people talk about Advocare, when I see other people who are leaders in the company, okay, I'm not just going to pull something from just anybody. They need to show that they've actually been able to be successful. But when I see those things, those are what I'm attracted to. That's what I plug into, and that's what's been able to get me from where I was to where I am now. And that's the same thing that gets you to where you are right now to where you want to be in the future. And so those are the key elements to plug into. Find some of the top income earners on Facebook. Watch the videos. I mean, plug in as much as you can, and you're going to be successful. It's not rocket science, guys. So let's get started with this document. But their website is PARR Team, P-A-R-R team.com. And so here it is. What I love about this is, they actually started back in 1999 with, Charlie Regis, and who is the founder of Advocare. They started with him, and they started where there was no Impact Magazine. There was no Advocare website. All they had is they went to the home office. They had about 12 pieces of paper that they had to pick up one by one, staple it together, pick up a couple packets of Spark, which was unflavored at the time. You had to mix it with orange juice to make it even taste somewhat decent. So we are very fortunate to everything that we have now. But they came up with this, and they're like, the reality is, yeah, we're growing at a very fast pace, and there's a lot of ideas and trainings that are out there, but it comes down to the basics. Okay, so let's start with the very first thing that we need to decide in our Advocare journey. What do we want? All of us have options, and we chose one of these four things that you see right there. We either chose to be a retail customer, or we chose to get the discount or the products at a discount. Maybe we chose to be what we call a hobby distributor, somebody who just wants to get enough income to pay for gas, groceries, games, and gifts, the 4 G's of life. Maybe that's you. Maybe you just want to earn a couple $100 a month, and that's great. But maybe you're at the fourth level, that advisor level that has that business mindset, which is where I'm at. And if you're on this training webinar, most likely you're at that 40% level as well, or you want to get there. And I want to make sure it's clear on how you get to advisor. And I actually did a training webinar on this, so I'm not going to go into great detail. If you want more specific information on how to get to advisor, just go to my YouTube channel, which is Hickey Advo, H-I-C-K-E-Y-A-D-V-O. Look that up, and I actually have quite a few videos on there teaching you how to get to silver, how to get to gold, how to get to advisor, all that stuff. But it's critical that you get to advisor if you're serious about building an Advocare business. And so there's two ways. One is what we call the advisor order, and that is simply a retail order of $3,000 worth of product. Okay, now what's nice about that is you're not paying $3,000 for that product. You're actually paying $2,100 because you initially receive a 30% discount on that order, which means you have $900 built in of profit. Okay, so you sell that advisor order, you can earn up to $900. Now, you may sample some Spark, you may use some of the products, so maybe it's not quite $900. I know I made a little over $800 on my advisor order. And I'll tell you this too, I didn't have $2,100 to put out for an advisor order in the bank. I had a credit card that had enough room, and I had desire. And that's really all I needed. I knew that I could help people improve their health. I knew people were better with these products in their body than without. And so with hope and a credit card with enough room on it, I did my advisor order. And within that month, I had all the products sold. I bought all 24-day challenges, few add-on products, and a few things for myself to continue on for the next 2 months. But that's what I did. And, that has paid me over and over and over so well because I made that investment. Now, you can also work your way to the advisor level. One of the things that I do want to mention, by doing the advisor order, It's also guaranteed for 12 months, which means if you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go all in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to help as many people as I can. I'm excited. And I'm going to do the advisor order. Well, you have 12 months to be satisfied. Okay, so if, let's say, 6 months go by and you still have half the products left and you're just not happy for whatever reason, life got in the way, you just can't do it, you can return any unused product for a full refund. I don't know anywhere else, guys, that you can get into such an amazing business at such a very low cost and a very, I was going to say low risk. There's no risk, because if it doesn't work, you're returning the unused product and you get a refund. You're not out anything. So one of two things is going to happen. Either one, you're going to sell the product, you're going to be very happy, and you're going to have an amazing business being built. Or two, life gets in the way and you can't do it, you return it, and you get your money back. You know, maybe you made a little money in the process, but at least you get a refund on the product that you're not going to sell. So to me, advisor just makes sense. And that's why I speak advisor with strength, because I know it is the best place to be. It opens up all 5 ways that we get paid. It gives you inventory to start your business. You know, what kind of business would you start without inventory? Not many. You know, so this gives you inventory to get out into the marketplace as soon as possible. You get testimonials faster. So it's just a better place to be. Now, you can work your way there, and you can work your way to the advisor level over 3 pay periods. And this is the only time that Advocare is going to require a certain amount of product being sold or bought in each pay period. So that minimum requirement is $500. Now that, if you buy $500 worth of product, you're going to get your discount on it. It doesn't matter what you paid, it's the retail value that counts. So if you buy $500 worth of product, that's going to bump you up to the 25% discount level, and it's going to keep you in qualification to reach the advisor level. And so each pay period, you need at least 500, and at the end of 3 consecutive pay periods, you have to accumulate $3,000 in retail volume. Okay, and there are a million and one ways that you can work those numbers out. Again, what it really comes down to is at least 500 in each of 3 consecutive pay periods, and at the end of that 3rd pay period, you've accumulated 3,000 in volume. So whether that's orders that you purchase yourself, people going to your website to place orders, or even distributors who are not at the advisor level, any orders they place, all of that volume counts. So you can see it is easy to get to the advisor level. If you want to get there, you really have no excuse. Again, it comes down to yourself and your own accountability. What are you willing to do? Okay, and of course, if you want the discount, if you want to be a hobby distributor, you want the advisor level, of course, you have to sign up for the $79. But what's great is now you get 3 boxes of Spark, which this is what I recommend for you, is you use that as seed for your business. Okay, they don't send you those 3 boxes of Spark for you to swallow. Okay, you can, especially if you're just a discount customer, you're not wanting to share it. I get it. Okay, but if you are business minded, whether you want to earn extra $300 or you want to earn an extra $30,000 a month, that product that they give you, that $69 worth of product, should be given out to people that you want to get into the business or you want to place orders from you, so that they can see the power of the products. Because Spark is something that when they get it in their body, they're going to feel. And they're going to know that this stuff is real and they're going to want it. So use that product wisely. You also get your own Advocare website, which I'm going to go over a little bit. I'm not going into a big training on the website at all, just because I've already done that. And there is a webinar that I created on our YouTube channel as well for that. Okay. The next thing that you need to determine, so you've chosen your relationship, you've got that in your mind, you know where you need to get, you got your distributor kit, or you at least are going on tonight to order your distributor kit. Now you've got to decide where you want to be. Is it that advisor level? And are you going to do the advisor order, or are you going to work your way there? Whatever you decide that you need to do, you need to talk to your sponsor to make sure that they understand, hey, I'm doing the advisor order. I need your help to make sure that I sell this within the first month, because man, if I don't get that credit card paid off, I'm gonna be in trouble. That's kind of where I was. I needed to make sure that credit card bill got paid. So you need to decide. Now, if you place a $500 order, if you're gonna work your way to advisor, I do recommend that you personally place a $500 order. That's going to do two things. One, it's going to keep you in qualification, so you've already met that minimum requirement. Anything that you get above and beyond that is just icing on the cake for this pay period. It's going to bump you up to the 25% discount level, and it also gives you seed to get into the marketplace. So you should get some samples, maybe 2 24-day challenges, get that product out there so that you can start building your business. Now, of course, you can do half an advisor order. So that's a $1,500 order. That will bump you up to the 30% level. And of course, you're going to save 30% off that $1,500 order. So your actual investment is only $1,000, $1,050. Of course, there's some tax and shipping that's included in there. And speaking of, anytime that you sell a product that you purchased, make sure that you're adding tax and you can add shipping if you want. I usually eat that cost, because most likely, if you look at it as a per item basis, it's a very small cost. But I will add tax. Now, I now live in Florida, so we don't have tax on supplements, which is awesome. But back in Ohio, it was like 6.5%. So I always made sure if I sold any product, I added 6.5% of the cost to that order to make sure that I'm covering that cost there. But again, shipping, it's completely up to you. You could add $1 if you wanted, whatever you want to do there. But again, you need to decide what discount level you want to start at. Okay, and again, if you are business minded, you shouldn't even look at that first line. All right, $0 to $4.99. I'm sorry, guys, it just doesn't make sense. Build this business. You got to take some risk in this. You've got to get yourself in the game at some level. And just signing up for that $79 doesn't quite cut it. When I look at the complete downline report and I see a bunch of $50 orders in there, that's the $79 enrollment. $50 of that is counted as product. When I see that, I see a bunch of people who really maybe they don't have vision for what's possible. They haven't been coached properly. They really haven't been shared what's possible with Advocare. So $500, that's a $375 investment on your end to really get yourself in the game and get things going. So you need to determine tonight where you want to be and let your sponsor know what you're going to decide to do. Now, I know many of you that are on this, a few of you actually, are working your way to the advisor level. And some of you are in your third pay period to qualify. So that's awesome. You've got till this coming Tuesday, not tomorrow, the following Tuesday, to finish out. So you've got plenty of time to get this done. Some additional resources that they put on here. Of course, your Advocare microsite is invaluable. Tons of training videos on there and just a lot of great information. Advocare distributor support. Any questions that you have, guys, when it comes to ingredients, it comes to your paychecks, any of that stuff, call the helpline. That's what they're there for. You'll get a live person, and they'll be able to answer any question that you have. There's also some additional resources that you can use while building your business. So Choose the Challenge just really goes over the 24-day challenge. Theparteam.com, like I said earlier, they really do have a great website, and I utilize it. So you should. Now, there's also the Facebook group pages. One of the things that I want to make sure that you guys know, let's come over here real quick. So let's get out of this. So we have 2 pages. Oh, there's Erica, and I think she's on this webinar. Look at that, you're a star. So we have 2 group pages here. We have one, Advocare for All Champions. You look great there, Erica. Now, this one is specifically for those who are just interested in product. Okay, so we don't post business meetings, we don't post business events or any of that stuff. Now, on occasion, you'll see I did post tonight's webinar. Every once in a while, I'll post something out there just for those who, maybe they got into it just for product and they completely forgot about the business opportunity. Well, every once in a while, I just want to put that back out and put it in their mind. And maybe it sparks something. They're like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and plug into this webinar. But we are not doing what we do on the business page, where it's constantly posting about events, giving some training topics, and all that stuff. That is specifically for business builders. So you can add anybody to this group. So if you just click on here, and yeah, if I wanted to add somebody, I just go to the name, click on. I'm not going to add any of these people because they're not product users yet. Well, actually, some of them are. Right, Alyssa, John Bishop. Yeah, I think he uses a few products. So anyway, so you can add people to this group. You don't need my permission to add them. You just go to it. And if you're not part of this group, man, let us know. We will get you added. All right. Now, the Hickey Advo team, business builders. Okay, so this is specifically for business builders. And yes, I am a cat guy. I've got 3 of them, so you'll see a lot of cat stuff with me. But yeah, on here, you're going to see all the different things that we post. So on November 9th, I'm going to be back in Columbus, Ohio for the rest of November. So I'm going to do a couple business trainings. I'm going to do some mixers. So I want to make sure that everyone knew about that. Again, another training that was this Saturday in Ohio. A bridal expo, which, guys, if you're telling me that you've talked to everyone you know, and you just need to find somebody, or maybe you're in that part of your life where maybe things were really bad and you got yourself out of it, you got yourself away from all the crap that you were around, and now you're really not around a whole lot of people. Well, put yourself in a booth. And bridal shows, some of them you have to pay for. This one was only $400, which really is not bad for a bridal expo. But you can find events all throughout your city, your state, that you can plug into, different health fairs. I know I used to do a lot of health fairs, and they don't cost anything. In fact, the businesses want you to be there because it's helping their employees live better quality of life and not call off sick as much. And so they're more productive. So they want you there, and you're not going to have to pay for that. So that's free business. So those are some things that we share in this this Facebook group page. So again, if you're not part of this, feel free to let us know. We'll add you. Again, you can add people to it as well. They have to be friends of yours, though, to be added to this group page. Okay, so you can't just add someone if you're not a friend of theirs. Which is also why I friend pretty much everyone who joins our team. So I can add you just in case your sponsor doesn't. So it's one of my little tricks. But yeah, so the Facebook group pages, utilize them. And then last but not least, if you didn't know, Advocare has their own page. Highly, highly recommend that you get on this because they do a lot. They go through product. They go through some of the sponsors and the different events that are going on. You see Trevor Bain, who raced this weekend in Talladega. He actually wrecked right at the end, unfortunately. But they just keep you up to date with all the stuff that's going on in Advocare. Just like when they came up with these pink booklets and cards to support breast cancer awareness. So again, more products. So a lot of stuff on here. A lot of the gear, some training on the individual products. So make sure you're checking these daily. Okay, I highly recommend that you do that daily. Let's see, Advocare Corporate. So one of the things that Advocare is going to start doing here very shortly is they're going to start doing more emails and things to keep product users and business builders engaged. And then, of course, yeah, your leaders group. So I already kind of showed you those. One of the other things that I wanted to show you as far as a resource is championmakerstraining.com. So I'll come back here to the home page real quick. So it's just championmakerstraining.com. This was put together by Danny and Diane McDaniel, who are the top income earners in Advocare. So I think you'll learn a lot from them. And by the way, if you haven't got your ticket to AdvoNation, which is training in 10 cities across the nation, get your ticket now. Find the one that's closest to you. It's definitely worth it. It's a one-day event. It's going to be phenomenal. So make sure that you get yourself there. But what I want you to do is click on events. And so here are events that are going around the nation, different Advocare events. So everywhere, you know, Houston, so you got a lot of Texas on there, New York, Florida, and you can bet I'm going to be at this one. So it tells you what the event is, and this one, Rob Graff, who is the Vice President of Endorsements for Advocare, he's going to be there talking about the Performance Elite line, which is going to be awesome. Indiana, Missouri, and then you can see here on Wednesday, which this is something that you all should write down, and this is something that any of your prospects that you have that you want to share Advocare with, this is something you can plug them into. Okay, let this training or this webinar help you build your business. And Rob and Jody are great. They've been in Advocare at least 15 years. And they're platinum distributors as well, and just do an amazing, or diamond distributors. They do an amazing job at sharing the vision of what's possible with Advocare. They're going to share some stories. They're going to share how to get started, and it doesn't take a lot of time. I think these webinars are like 20 minutes. Okay, so it's pretty quick, and it really gives your prospect a great idea of what's possible and gets them to start thinking about what Advocare can be for them. But you can see all these different events here, and then of course you can flip over to November, see what's going on. So these are events that are not only held by corporate, but also just local distributors as well. So we've got some things going on in North Carolina, which is going to be great. You know, separate ladies and men's events. And these get updated very frequently, so make sure you're checking these. I do it weekly, sometimes twice a week, just to be on the safe side, because things pop up every time. But yeah, so I definitely recommend that you're always checking out these events. And then if you want additional training, here's some brand new training videos that Danny put together with different distributors. So you have no excuse not to be successful. All right, I don't know how many times I can say that to somebody, but that truly is the reality in Advocare. Is it's completely up to you. You know, you can work this business 3 to 5 hours a week and be extremely successful. You don't have to work it full time. Yeah, most people don't. Most people are working a 9 to 5. Remember, when I began, I was working a heck of a lot longer than 9 to 5. I really didn't want to take on another business, but I was able to work this within what I was already doing. So it made it easier. And the other thing that's great about an Advocare business is once you get somebody on product and you help them get great results, they're going to continue to use the product. So those, let's just say 10 people that you start in your first pay period, well, the next pay period, maybe they order, 5 of those order some more product, and then the other 5 order, in the next pay period. But you start adding and multiplying people, and you're adding and multiplying your income because of that. So it's pretty amazing business, to be honest with you. And you can rest your head at night feeling good about what you've done. All right, so the next thing is we need to look at your purpose, your advisor, your list, your sponsor, the speed. Because remember, the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. So how fast did you get to advisor? How fast did you get a 3-way call? How fast did you get your new distributor signed up? And how fast did you earn the rookie bonus? Okay, because as soon as you become an advisor, then the following pay period, once you're a qualified advisor, you have 3 pay periods to work your way to a $500 rookie bonus. And so all you need to do is bring on 3 new distributors. Doesn't matter if they're business builders or they just want it for the discount. That doesn't matter. And you accumulate $3,000 in volume in those 3 pay periods through new distributors. So you could sign up 5 people, or let's just say 6 people you sign up, and each one of them place a $500 order. Well, you have at least 3 new distributors, you have at least 3,000 in volume, so you've earned a $500 rookie bonus, and Advocare sends you a check for $500. It's a pretty amazing thing. But before you get that, there's a couple things that you need to do, because it's all about talking to people and sharing who Advocare is, what it's done for you, where you're going with it, and probably more importantly, where they can go with it. And that starts with your story. And we say it's a 30-second story. You don't need a 5-minute story. In fact, if you're going 5 minutes sharing your story, you're talking way too much. 30 seconds is more than enough, 2 minutes max. Okay, so we call it our elevator speech. It's where we were, what we saw, what we did, and where we're going. So for me, I was a small business owner working 80+ hours per week, and I was tired. My buddy Matt introduced me to this product called Spark. And I'll tell you what, I got more done in those 3 hours than I probably had that whole week, you know, without the Spark. And I was amazed at how great I felt. So I looked a little more into the company. I started using some more of the products, ended up losing 3% body fat, gaining almost 2 pounds of muscle in 24 days. And now I'm helping other people achieve their health and wellness goals. And I'm also helping other people earn some extra income, because in my first month, I made a little over $800. And now I'm earning more than my business ever paid me, and I'm able to have a life on my terms. So does any of that sound like something that you might be interested in? Okay, so that's kind of how the story goes. And that story, guys, I mean, I just made up right now. Of course, it is my story, so it should be pretty easy to be able to share it. And of course, I've shared it several times, more than several times. But that's how you need to get. And I know it sounds weird, because it's not normal to talk to somebody like that and to share a story like that. But that's what we do, and it works. So don't try and come up with something else. Just package your story this way. Where you were, you know, were you unhealthy and, you know, a fast food addict? Did you drink a lot of sodas? Did Spark replace your soda? Did you lose 20 pounds? You know, whatever it may be, share your story. Okay, you can also share the story of others. You know, I love sharing Sarah Stalter's story. You know, Sarah was 5 foot, well, she is 5 foot tall, but she was 264 pounds when she reached out to us. And she lost 18 pounds on the 24-day challenge. She's gone on to lose over 130. And can you imagine how different her life is now than where she was? And if she hadn't said yes to Advocare, where would she be today? You know, she's also, her and her boyfriend Jake are building an Advocare business together, and they're building an amazing team. So you've got to share these stories, and you've got to learn the stories of other people. And that's why the Impact Magazine is important, because you've got a lot of great stories in there. So if you don't currently have any product stories, or you don't even have your own product story, use the stories of people that have come before you. Don't be afraid to share those stories, because you're always going to end with where you're going. And that's going to inspire people. So make sure you're working your 30-second story. Make sure you're talking to your sponsor, and you guys are going over this to make sure that you're getting out any fluff. Okay, so we don't talk about, you know, I don't say I signed up to become a distributor. I don't say I talked to my sponsor or my leader or my upline. We don't use terminology like that in your story. Okay, we can say friend. We can say I joined Advocare to become a discount customer, but then I saw so much more, and I started sharing it with others, and I earned $500. Okay, so you can use different things, but just stay away from any weird terminology. Okay, next is the Bulletproof Shield. This is something that's going to protect you every single time that you get a question that you can't answer, or a question you really shouldn't answer, like the ingredients. You know, well, what's in this? You know what, John, honestly, I really don't know about that, but what I do know is I've used these products for the past 5.5 years. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I haven't gotten sick in the last 3 years. You know, and I feel absolutely amazing, and it's truly a you know, product of the, truly a product of the product. So you're gonna love this stuff. You know, use your stories, use other stories. And if they continue on, you say, look, you know what, again, I don't know much about that. I feel great with these products. And we've got this scientific and medical advisory board. These are doctors at the highest levels of their field and their occupation. And, they formulate the products, and that's what they're qualified to do. So if they say it's safe to be in there and it gets results, well, I'm going to trust what they say. And you can even go to the Impact magazine and point out some of the doctors. You can use the endorsements. Major League Soccer is not going to pick up Advocare as their nutrition partner for Major League Soccer if the products don't work, products aren't safe, and the company isn't reputable. They're not going to do it. Doesn't matter how much money you throw at them. Okay, and then the last thing you can use is the satisfaction guarantee. Look, you know what? If you use it and for whatever reason you don't like it or you have a negative reaction, you can return it and get a refund. Okay, so stay within the Bulletproof Shield. It's always going to protect you. It's going to protect you against that question of, isn't this one of those pyramid things? Hey, look, I don't know much about that. I don't know what a pyramid really is. But what I do know is I've helped a lot of people look better and feel better. I've helped some of my best friends earn an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. And, I'm earning an extra $6,000 to $7,000 a month. And it comes every 2 weeks. So, I don't know about a pyramid scheme, but this seems to really be working for me. Bam. Nobody can look, you can't say that and for that person to be like, oh no, you're lying. No, I mean, those are facts. We share what has happened to us. And when you share what's happened to you and what has happened for others, you're always going to be protected. Okay, now this is where we're getting into the nuts and bolts, and we're almost done here because this is for anyone who is in Advocare, who is looking to build a business. If you haven't packaged your story yet, if you haven't defined your purpose yet, and if you have not built your list yet, you should not be doing anything else. This needs to get all of your time, not the majority of your time, not 15 to 20 minutes a day. This needs to get all of your time. You need to write out your story. You need to write out why you're doing Advocare, what you want out of it, and you need to start making this list. Okay, so if you've decided, hey, I'm going to use 3 to 5 hours a week to build my Advocare business, this is the first thing you're going to do before anything else, because it's going to start making Advocare real. Okay, so you're putting names down, you're putting phone numbers, and I would even jot why you're choosing this person and what you think is going to be why they want to get into Advocare, why they want to use the product. So this first one is 30 customers in the first 90 days. So who are those people? And think about those who are health conscious, who are willing to invest in their health, who maybe want more energy, they're looking to lose a little weight, they want some definition, or they're just interested in sports performance. And take it in blocks of 10. Start with your first 10, okay? Who are the ones that are closest to you, that will listen to you, who trust you, that you have some influence on, that you can get using the product. Okay, and make sure that you're including your sponsor with this. Now, if it's product that you've used and you're really comfortable sharing it, okay, maybe you don't need to involve your sponsor right away, but in some way connect them, whether it's a Facebook message, just like Mary Costco did today. She's got a gal that's on the 2040 challenge on day 7's down 7 pounds. So she posted something on Facebook and tagged me in it. That way I can go in there and I'm like, great job. You're rocking this thing, keep it up. So little things like that can be very impactful on your business. So you don't always have to do a 3-way call right away, but definitely find a way to connect your sponsor with your prospects. Okay, so this new distributor retail tracker, you definitely want to get to. And then you have your business tracker. And this is going to be a smaller list, because what Advocare really comes down to is if you want to be successful, you have a lot of people using a little bit of product every single month with a few business builders sprinkled in there. Okay, so you're not looking for 100 business builders. I mean, that'd be great. Don't get me wrong. You can be very wealthy if you can find hundreds of business builders who actually treat it like a business. But the reality is, we're not going to find it. That's not the norm in this type of business. It's not the norm in any kind of business. So you need to find a few key people, and what you're looking for is people who are disgusted with their current circumstances in life, those who are unhappy in their job, whose maybe their job and their money issues are having a negative impact on their family life. You know, those are the type of people that you're looking for. You're looking for people that have a desire to overcome those circumstances. Someone who is coachable, who's willing to go to work, and that has a strong work ethic, and of course that financial motive, and a sense of urgency to act now. And one of the things that I want to hit on there, because I've seen this so many times with people, is they're looking for that big kahuna. They're looking for, you know, the track star. They're looking for that football player who is going to blow up their business. And the reality is, a lot of times those people don't have a big enough disgust to work an Advocare business. And I've seen this firsthand. All right, they may be people who know a crap load of people, and they could probably do very well with this, but they just don't have that sense of urgency because they don't need the money. They don't need, you know, they've already got the fame. They know money is coming, or maybe they're already, you know, at that level and they're already getting paid extremely well. They just don't have that motive. So why are they going to take time out of their day to build an Advocare business? You know, definitely keep an eye out for those types of people, but don't put all your eggs in that basket. If you look at A through H, okay, on this sheet, those are the type of people who you're really looking for. Those are the type of people who are going to make things happen for themselves, which will make things happen for you, and which will make things happen for so many other people that they introduce you to. Okay, so yes, look for the big kahuna. We all want one of those people, but the reality is they're very hard to come by. But people who are disgusted with their current circumstances, man, I could throw a rock and probably hit 20 of them. Okay, those people are out there. Those are the ones who you want to lock arms with. Those are the ones you want to help. And those are the ones you can lay your head down at night and feel like you really got something accomplished. You really made your mark here in life. Because guys, we only get one life to live, and so does everyone else. And you want to leave your mark here in this world. And this is one way that you can do it. Because when you help one person who helps somebody else, that cycle gets repeated over and over and over again. And it's because you said yes. It's because you were teachable. It was because you had a strong work ethic. You had that sense of urgency. This is how Advocare is meant to be done. Everything else set to the side. You need to formulate or come up with your story. You need to define your purpose, and you need to start writing down your list. Over the next 90 days, what are you going to achieve? Are you going to start 2016 with a bang, with a lot of people, you know, on your team, moving product out to the marketplace, helping others earn income? Or are you going to be sitting on the sidelines trying to figure out how to do a webinar, or, you know, figure out what ingredients are in Spark and what they all do? None of that stuff is relevant. It's not necessary. The stuff is already out there. I know how to do these webinars. Let me do them. You know, hopefully you like what we're sharing on here, and hopefully you're getting some value out of this. You don't need to recreate it. It's already done for you. All the events that I just showed you on championmakerstraining.com, the leaders are doing those. Just plug people in and you can have massive success. You don't need to do it on your own. And ultimately, this is what you're looking for as a new distributor, or a distributor who is not at the gold level or beyond. This is what you want. You're really looking for 3 people. And you want to help those 3 people get to the advisor level. Now, of course, you may have product users out the wazoo, you know, all around you, but you're looking for 3 key business builders. So who are those 3? And once you get those 3, well, hey, you want to ask this person, John, who do you know that we can help? Who are your top 3 people? And then with each one of those, hey, who are your top 3? And you just go down the line. We're not looking for 1 million people, guys. We're looking for a nice, strong foundation. We're looking to duplicate that foundation, and then we're looking to explode it. And each one of these is just going to do the same thing. So if you do this and you do a good job of it, all of these people are going to do the same thing. Don't make life harder on yourself. If you can coach these people on what to do, they're going to coach these people on what to do. And these people are going to coach their people on what to do. And it all comes down to the success system. Anytime you talk to somebody, it starts with a one-on-one. You've heard me say this plenty of times, so I'm not going to go over this a million more times, but it starts with a genuine conversation. That genuine conversation with your prospect is going to lead to a two-on-one or a three-way call, just depending on the location of your sponsor. That three-way call can lead to a mixer. You know, this is just a small gathering in your house, which when I'm back in Columbus, we're going to do several of these, so make sure if you're in that area, you pay attention. There's large events. I'm going to do some business trainings in Columbus while I'm there. And then there's Success School or Advonation. This is how it works. Don't make it any harder than it needs to, and make sure you're following up with people. Don't just get them on product and let them kind of do it on their own. They're going to fail. Okay, you need to make sure you're following up with them and you're plugging them into the system because it works. Okay, and then I know this is sideways, but this document, once I'm done here, I'm going to upload it to the business Facebook page, so you'll be able to print it out. But this is your daily method of operation. I was talking to Teresa about this morning. And you can print this off and just check marks on it, or we actually do have an Excel spreadsheet. And if you want that, that's on the, I think it's already on the Facebook group page. If not, I'll show you. It's on For All Champions, which is our personal website. But anyway, so you print this out. And so there's a couple things that you want to make sure that you're looking at. So registered for Advonation or Success School. So if you're serious about building your Advocare business, you want to make sure that that box is checked and that you actually bought your Advonation ticket. It's only $69 and you're getting amazing training. All the other events that Advocare has or that you see on Champion Makers Training, all those are free events. Advonation, Success School are the only ones that you ever pay for. And one of the goals that you want to set for yourself is having $1,000 in volume each pay period. $1,000 in volume can come from your own personal purchases, distributors who are not at advisors, and then retail sales, people going to your website. But you want to shoot for that $1,000 in volume at a minimum to be able to collect all of your override, to get the leadership bonuses, so you can get paid all 5 ways in Advocare. Okay, but all this is daily method of operations. You're not going to do every single one of these every single day, so don't worry. This can seem overwhelming, but just start marking some of the things that you did. You know, did you take your products today? Bam, heck yeah, I did. Did I participate in a team conference call or a webinar like this? Heck yeah, I did. Did I attend a training or a large event? Well, this is a training, so I'm going to say yes. Did I retail or make a business presentation or a one-on-one today? No, I didn't. Okay, so hey, be honest, I didn't today, so I'm not going to do that. Did I retail products of $100? Yes, that I can say I did, because I had somebody contact me who wanted a couple bottles of or canisters of Spark. So I did retail at least $100, so I can check that out. Did I follow up with people? Yes, I made a few follow-up calls. Did I do a 2-on-1 presentation? No. Did I do a 3-way call? I'm going to do one after this with Brandon at 9:30, so I need to finish up here. So you can see, you just go through these and you just check them. And here's what I can tell you. At the end of the 2 weeks, the end of the pay period, I can tell you what your paycheck's going to be depending on how many numbers you got in here. You know, the more numbers you got in here, the higher your paycheck's going to be. The less numbers you have in here, obviously, the less you're going to get paid. So use this daily tracker to really kind of figure out what you should be doing, because these are all the things that get you paid in Advocare. So one last thing before we head out here that I didn't bring up, because again, I didn't want to I don't want to a whole bunch of stuff out there and overwhelm you, because again, nothing matters until you've defined your purpose and you're doing your list. Okay, so this is the team. So this is a website that I had built for our team. And at the bottom here, you see team member access. And the username is Advocare. The password is champions. And then you just click login. And so down here are a bunch of downloads, different tools that I use to help build business. So a lot of things that just help with tracking, so like the tracking spreadsheet, helping with packaging your story. There's a program called the Lean in 13, which I'm gonna do here pretty soon. 24-day challenge documents, so all that stuff. So here's like the team blueprint, which you can edit. There's the success system tracker that you can edit. So all that stuff is on there. So again, it's just forallchampions.com. Scroll down to the team area. Username is Advocare, password champions. Also have some great videos on here. If you know any personal trainers, have them watch this video. Any coaches, there was a great call that was done. And then of course on the product side, you want to introduce somebody to the 24-day challenge. You got that. Why do we need supplements? Just some great stuff in here. Some success stories right here. Definitely good to plug in and use this website as well. All right. So again, what it comes down to is decide where you want to be. Are you a number 1, a 2, a 3, or 4? Are you going to go ahead and place your advisor order? Are you going to work your way there and do a $500 order? Make sure you know all your resources. Get your purpose defined. Get your story down. Understand the Bulletproof Shield. Get your 30 people in 90 days. Get your 10 new business builders in 90 days. And guys, it all comes down to getting to work. Look at building something like this. Use a success system and use this tracker to really just pay attention to what you're doing. It's kind of like, we know we should all be drinking a gallon of water per day. And if you actually used a gallon jug and it was the end of the night and you were halfway through and you need to do a chug session, you know, it happens. Same thing on here. You may get to like today, which would be Monday, which would be right here, and you realize you really haven't done much in the last, 5-6 days. Well, now it's time to chug. Now it's time to get on the phone and make some big moves so that you can finish out the pay period strong. So guys, I hope this helped. If there are any questions, again, on the right-hand side, feel free to ask any questions. Other than that, I think we are done here. I've gone over almost everything. I guess one last thing. See, I really don't have a plan every single time on this. But one thing I wanted to share with you, because this was something that, like what Lamont and I were talking about. So when you log into your Advocare microsite, if you just hover over the My Advocare, go down to Legal Forms and Documents, the 2014 income disclosure. I'm going to click on that. Bring it up. Okay, so this is a great document. This is something you should use. It's actually in your Impact magazine towards the back. So this shows you the number of active distributors, the number of months to reach certain levels, and the actual income that's paid out. Okay, so if you look at silver, on average, about $1,000 is paid out per month. So you've probably heard that. It's about $12,000 a year. The top 10% are actually earning over $2,000, and the bottom 10% earn an extra $430 per month. Still not a bad deal, extra $400 a month if you're just working it, obviously, very, very part-time. Okay, but the average months to reach the silver level is 14. We all know that there have been people who have gotten there a lot faster. I know Chris Don, when he finally decided to build a business, he did it in 3 months. So some people go a little bit faster, some people take a little bit longer, but this is the average among all distributors. Okay, so you can look at Emerald 9 Star is about 5 years, and then about 6 years to get to Diamond. But look at the average income for a diamond distributor, $53,000. If in the next 6 years you could work this business very part-time and have a paycheck every 2 weeks of $25,000, is that worth it to you? Heck, I think so. Look at the top 10%, almost $100,000 a month at the diamond level. And if you look at platinum and above, you know, big range here. So the average is 98, 319,000. So this is what Danny and Diane McDaniel earn. Actually, they earn probably a little bit more than that because it's top 10% a month. But they've been doing it pretty much since the beginning. And on a low end, you know, they're earning $68,000 a month. Not a bad deal, guys, and it doesn't take long to get there. At least in the grand scheme of things, this is nothing. Because think about where you currently are. If you don't have Advocare in your life right now, where will you be in the next 5 or 6 years? And does that excite you, or does it scare the living daylights out of you? You know, so why not Advocare? And if it's not Advocare, what is it going to be? Because this is real. Our products work. Our opportunity works. The only variable is what you're willing to do with it. I know my boat's in the water. If you're on this webinar, I hope your boat's in the water as well and you're willing to get to work. But it comes down to these basic fundamentals. If you're not doing these, if you haven't done it yet, you need to get on it. And I know we all slack at times. I'm getting better at doing this more because sometimes I get into more management mode instead of recruiting mode, and that's not good. We should always be working our business wide and working our business deep. Okay, so that means you should always be looking for new people, and you should always be coaching your team to bring new distributors on board. Okay, so with that, guys, I appreciate you being on. Again, I hope this was valuable for you. And if you need anything, do not hesitate to reach out. Have a great night.